Hello. Hello.
Hi. What
Ew, the lights is locking for real.
girl? I just did a little undo. It's a little crinkly. You know I like that.
Ew, we like see
Yeah. Good to see you, friend.
it. Good to see you, girl. All right.
All right. Right.
Let's go ahead and get it pushed out because we on black people time today.
Yes, we are. Thank you for your patience. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of It's Safe, Speak Your Truth. My name is Dr. Chris, and we are back to have yet another discussion. So, the last time we went live, it was episode 29. That was Education Hour number 3. We had a special guest come on, Dr. Alexis Toussaint. She led that education hour where we talked about the impact of traumatic upbringings in the Black community. She shared her journey as a social worker, as a CPS caseworker, all of that, and what she's seen in the children and teenagers that she has serviced. And so we talked about that, how you can come in contact with different providers, where to look for different resources if you're serious about your healing and you want to look into a therapist, things of that nature. So if you haven't had the opportunity to view that live, you can check out our YouTube channel. It's Safe, Speak Your Truth, and watch the video in full. So now that I've talked about our recap, our previous episode, I'm now going to shift into today's episode, which is episode 30. And tonight we will be talking about heal while you wait. So I know a lot of us, myself included, we all desire a life partner, somebody we can build with, grow with, be in partnership with, but it just seems like, you haven't encountered that person yet. So what do you do in the meantime? You heal. You heal while you wait. A lot of the times we see, people that are out here dating, or they call themselves trying to get with people, or women, men, they're not fully healed, right? So the way that they approach things, situations, people, relationships, connections, it most times is toxic. They take out their trauma, their pain on their partner, and so that will then lead to a toxic traumatic cycle and experience for that individual. So we want to talk about that. Like, if you're not actively dating, then maybe take some time to really tap into you and who you are, and, heal from the things that you've been through, specifically, your childhood, past relationships, that the trauma that might have come from those. You might have been cheated on, you might have been abused. All of those different things are traumatic. So before you call yourself trying to connect with other people, maybe just tapping into what you went through, realizing how serious that was, before you try to go into someone else's life and bring that baggage, that emotional trauma with you to the new person. So let's get into it. So for me, my experience with, healing while I wait, I've been single for a few years now. My last situationship, I ended that in 2019, 2020. So I've been single for about 5 years. And during that time, I have been able to figure out who I am. What's going on with me? What do I like? What do I don't like? My childhood experiences, what I went through as a child, the relationship with my parents, caregivers, all of that. Like, how did that impact me as a woman? Right? How did that shape me into what I thought was a healthy relationship? A lot of us don't realize or recognize what's healthy. Since we've been exposed to it for so long, we think that's just the norm. Or, if, your parents were divorced, you grew up in a divorced single parent household, more than likely. And so you feel like you don't know what it looks like, for me, especially what it looks like for a man to love a woman. I didn't have a man in the household growing up. It was just my mom. So at that time, I'm thinking, oh, I have to be strong. I have to be independent. But when it comes to relationship, when you're talking about allowing a man to lead, help lead your life, give input, have a say in how things go in the household, things like that. I don't know what that looks like, because it's always been my mama handling everything. So I need to tap into how do I recognize that? How do I release the need to control everything? How do I allow somebody to lead my life or help be a co-lead in my life, right? So that's really important to consider. I realize past situationships, connections with the male species. I had, experiences where they would try to humble me, where they, claim that they're ready to love me and show up for me, but really when it was time to do that, they couldn't. They made up an excuse, or they left me by myself. And so that independence, that tenacity, that strength that I've always thought, I was ready to release. Like, okay, I'm tired of being strong. I'm tired of handling everything. Like, can somebody come into my life and help me lift the load? I don't know what that looks like. So I'm still navigating that. They will come into my life and try to compete with me. Oh, you a doctor. Oh, you think you better. So all of those insecurities and their traumas and their past situations were projected onto me. It's my fault. How? When we just met? How? When we're trying to build something and I've never given you an inkling that that's the type of person that I am. You've seen my character. You've seen my integrity. You see how I'm stepping. But yet and still you treat me as if I'm less than. Like you have to make me, what I'm saying, think less of myself because that's how you feel about you. So it's like after you go through all of that, you kind of don't you have a fear, right? Like, if this is what's out there, I would rather be dolo. Like, I'll continue to wait, and while I wait, I will continue to heal. Because at one point I used to have a fear of being alone. Like, oh, when is he gonna come? Like, when are we going to connect? Like, what page of his life is he on? Is he going to be on the same crap that I've experienced from the past, or is he going to be different? Like, all of these different questions come up for me. But I'm learning to release it, right? If the right person will come when they're supposed to come, and I will be in a better position mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, so that when he does come into my life, I'll know how to receive him, right? I won't always try to take control of things. I'll allow my man to lead and, trust that he will make the best decisions or have the right mindset that will put us in a better position as a unit. Um, because I value my peace so much at this point. Like, there's a lot of things that I had to dig up and deal with to be where I am today. So there's no way that I'm gonna just deal with anybody just to say I got somebody. There's no way I'm gonna let somebody come into my life that have nothing, no value to add to me. There's no way that I'm gonna let somebody bring turmoil to my life. I'm not going to let somebody at war with themselves bring war into my life and cause all of this chaos, right? Like when you work hard and I'm not dealing with that. That's okay. That means that you've reached a place in your healing journey where you like, I'm not compromising. I'm not downplaying, the work that I've done. And I'm not going to let somebody that's not doing half the work that they need to do for themselves to try to make me feel bad for where I am today. So that's what I'm gonna start with as an introduction. Kai, what you got?
Girl, you said a whole lot and then some, okay? Because I had like that same upbringing, single parent household. I never really saw, like a real, true, loving relationship. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then like, I mean, my grandparents was married and stuff like that, but I mean, we still didn't see like everything because, you know, and this is not like me speaking bad about them or nothing. It's just speaking facts. Like people like to hide stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't let everybody see like the real, So in my mind, I had like this, I guess, fairy tale, thing, like how I thought relationships were supposed to be, because like I never saw my grandparents argue. Like I never knew that they had problems until like child, I was like in my late 20s. So like I didn't know that they had like certain issues and things going. I'm still like, even now kind of like finding out some things. I'm just like, oh damn, that's crazy. I never knew that. I thought everything was, happy hunky dory, you know what I'm saying? But like is toxic. You know how like people talk about toxic positivity, like I feel like that's toxic too, like when you don't see the good, the bad and the ugly in like relationships with your family, because you don't know how to deal with it when it's presented to you. So that's kind of like one thing. Like I didn't know how to date for the longest. I did not know how to date, child. Oh my God, I know me and you talked about this before. Like, child, sorry. I didn't know how to date. Like, cause my mama was like so strict. She was like super, super strict, child. I couldn't have a boyfriend. I couldn't talk on the phone with boys. I couldn't do nothing. So while everybody that was my age, like in middle school, high school, they talking to boys, like they're learning how to date and how to, just interact with people in general. Like I'm sheltered, locked up in the house and I can't do shit. So like now, I become an adult. I'm kind of like socially awkward. People think I got an attitude and I'm stuck up. No, bitch, I'm just weird. Like I have social anxiety sometimes. Like I don't, I don't know what to do. Like, I mean, like, don't get me wrong, like, I'm a people person. Like, I can talk, I can hold a conversation and stuff like that, but it still be kind of weird for me sometimes. And then, like, as far as like dating, like, I've been through some shit. You know what I'm saying? Especially finding out that your mama and your so-called best friend, fucking niggas that you dealing with while you dealing with them, and even after you're dealing with them, like that leaves a huge scar, on a person, and that definitely causes like trust issues. Like, child, my mama, the person brought me into this world. Like, if I can't trust her, then bitch, I feel like I can't trust nobody. Like, literally, like nobody. So then dealing with like the stuff that I dealt with like in relationships or situationships, like what you said earlier, like with people trying to feel like they gotta humble you, and like, okay, if you feel like I'm not the person that you want or that you like, then leave me the fuck alone. Like why is it so hard to just step the fuck back and be an adult and just be like, you know what? I thought this was, something that I wanted, but I think, we'll be better off as friends or just, whatever. Like, why you gotta be childish? And then it's fucked up because a lot of guys that I converse with was like older than me, like years older than me. Like I didn't talk to a few people 10 years older than me. A guy that was like 14 years older than me. And like they just be lying. Like they still just liars. So now I find myself kind of like more reserved. Like I talk to people, like I have guy friends. Like when we talk, we laugh, we joke and stuff like that. But I'm I'm not. I don't know. Like it just is what it is. Like I don't know. But I've just been working on myself. I've learned that you can't be too giving. You can't be too kind. Cause like I'm the type of person like my what is it called, love language, my love language, and it's not just like for romantic, it's like anybody, like it's like gift giving and stuff like that. Like I got something for like a guy friend, and I guess that shit went to his head. But I felt that he was going. Not just only I knew he was like going through something. So I got him something just like as like a little pick me up. Hey, look, it's a gift, for a friend. Hey, look, I thought about you. I thought this would, make you feel better. And baby, that just made his head fucking humongous. Like you think You think you got it like that, just like, and it's crazy because you don't ever know how the other person think. Just because you think a certain way, that don't mean that the other person think a certain way. So for me, while it's innocent on my end, for him, he probably like, well, or we ain't even together, or she by. No, that's not what it is. Like, I'm literally just like a fucking genuine fucking person, like. And I just was being thoughtful, and I want to do something for a friend, and you thinking that it's something else, and it's not. And so, I sometimes less is more. That's what I've learned. While I wait, less is more. Child, I mean, I don't know. It just, babe, if you watch it, hey husband, babe, I love you. Hey, you my everything. I don't know yet, but I be praying for you, and I be praying for me, and I be praying for us. But hey, babe, what you got?
Heavy on the head, B. You might be watching us right now. We don't know you, but let's just say that we're waiting for you wherever you are. Um, I'm gonna go back to what you said about not knowing how to date. That has been my experience too. Like, the people the past males that I had connected with, it was just random connections. It wasn't like, oh, they courted me and we actually dated for a period of time. Then we went to the next step, moving in, getting married, like all of that. Like, I've never experienced that. I really don't know what to expect or what to look for when it comes to dating. Like, I have a lot of friends that are in the dating game. Like, they are serial daters. So like, they'll go on a date, okay, they got somebody set up for later in the night, then they got somebody else. Like, they have a full itinerary of dates. And I'm like, that's not me. Like, yes, you have to get to know the people that you're dating, and you might be dating 2 3 max of 4 people, but how are you to really connect with them and get to know them and see them if you're clouded and distracted by the other people that you're also dating? Like, I feel like that's disingenuous in a way, because you can't really focus on the person and really build something with them if you're doing the same things that you would do with somebody else. So that's one of my fears too. Like, what if I give my all and I'm thinking, okay, we locked in, and then you still doing your thing on the side and I'm not aware of that? Like, that's not what I'm looking for. Like, if you want to continue to date, then that's the conversation that needs to be had. Like, hey, I'm talking to you, but I'm also dating other people. If we want to be exclusive, we could have that conversation. But I've seen and just the dating world, like, people just doing stuff to distract themselves. Like, they just trying to get with people just to see what they could do for them or what they can get out of them, but they don't have no intentions on really like honing in on that one person and building with them. Like, I feel like these days, what I see, it's a mess right now. And so that kind of puts me on guard. Like, I don't know what your intentions are. I don't know if you're really serious, or if you really have, the best intentions towards me, or if you're serious about really pursuing something with me long term. So that kind of puts me in my shell. Like, I know he won't drop on my lap. Like, okay, I stay in the house, I go to work, I come home. He gonna find me. He gonna be delivering the packages. Or if I go to the store around the corner, he gonna be on the same aisle. Like, I would love it to be that way, where it's just, random and we tap in like that. But I know I have to get out there. But it's also a fear of mine, because I know what I've seen and what I've experienced. And I'm trying to work through that, not allowing what I went through in the past to be the dictator or the main reason why, or the excuse as to why I'm kind of ducked off. I'll be in the house. Even right now, I'm inside. After we get off live, I'm going to take a shower and I'm going to go put my bonnet on and lay down on a Saturday night. I know that's not what I need to be doing if I'm serious about connecting with somebody. But at the same time, I'm like, I don't want to waste my time or my energy pouring into something that I feel like isn't going to be, you know, is not going to have the result that I'm looking for or what I'm expecting. So that's what I wanted to say about that. Now, I had a situation with a gift giver, right? I like doing nice things. If, like you said, you're going through something, or you feel like don't nobody care about you, or you just having a rough week, month, year, whatever, I have been known to, okay, I'm gonna do this for him. Or he say, I need this, or I'm struggling with X or whatever. Okay, I'm gonna get this to make sure you don't have to worry about that for a while. So I had a situation where I actually got a gift for a friend, a guy. I liked him. He knew I liked him, but we were getting to know each other. And I got something small. I got some cologne, a little nice chain, and like a pick because he have a bed. I like beds. Babe, you got a bed? Okay. So anyway, yeah. So I'm like, okay, something small, it's all good, friend. Like, I'm here for you, whatever. And I gave it to him, and he was like, "Oh, that's expensive. That's too expensive," which means you're gonna want something in return from me that's gonna be expensive. And I'm like, well, I never said that. Like, this is me showing you, like you said, I got you. We're friends. You don't have to worry. Like, there's a lot of talk that say, men, they never receive gifts. They don't know what that is. They never seen any woman buy them anything and not expect nothing in return. That was literally my intention, to just show you love. Like, here you go. Nothing major. You say you like to smell good. Okay, here's some good cologne. You say you need something to pick your bed out. Okay, here's a pick comb specifically for your bed. You say, oh, I don't have no jewelry, no neck. Okay, I got you a chain. And they looked at that as me trying to trap them, or me trying to get something out of them. And I was like, how you get that? That's me showing you I'm listening to you, I'm hearing you, and I appreciate our connection just as a friend. Like, I'm not, you know what I'm saying? I'm not pressuring you or making you feel like you have to give me something expensive because I got you something expensive. And it wasn't expensive really, but you know, he thought I spent a whole lot of money and I was trying to get with him and use gift giving to trap him. And I was like, dang, that's the type of woman you think I am? Which shows that you really don't know me at all. So I had to disconnect from him. But when you try to be nice and thoughtful and considerate and kind, a lot of people will take advantage of that. And so I've learned in this healing journey, in this chapter, that it's okay to give, but just watch who you give into, because not a lot of people, again, if they have never received that, and then you come into their life and you on a different wave and your intentions are pure, those other people have never seen that. And so they always think there's a hidden agenda. There's a motive behind it. And so they can't trust that you truly care about them, that you truly want to see them happy, that you truly listen and are hearing them, that you truly just want to see them smile, that you truly just want to give something to them and show them, hey, I got you. I got your back. So you have to be careful with that. And I went through some pain because of that, because I'm a giving person, and I don't see nothing wrong with me spoiling, you know what I'm saying? I don't have an issue with that, but I also would like that in return. Like, don't just come to me because oh, Chris, if she know I'm going through something or I need something, she gonna get it for me, right? Like, don't use me like that. Don't misuse me like that, because your intentions, again, your actions, everything that you pour into the world, or what you try to do towards people, that's always going to come back on you. So that's why I make sure that I show up genuinely and with intention and knowing why I'm doing something for somebody. Same in relationships, or my future mate. Babe, you tell me you want something, or man, I've been looking at this, or man, I'm really stressed out. Like, I've been going through ABC. I really need to focus on A, but I need to get da 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 in line. When I hear that, I'm like, okay, so let me see. I'm starting to look up. I know that's something I'm working on too. Like, always trying to jump in and see how I can fix it. But at the same time, if it's gonna alleviate some pressure for you, or some stress for you, or it's gonna get you a step closer to the goal that you say you want to accomplish, I have no problem doing that. Especially when we saying we're partners. This is a partnership we building together. I have no problems, you know what I'm saying, putting something, a bug in your ear, like, oh, babe, I heard about this, or I read about this. Maybe you should check it out. Like, That's not a problem for me. So not everybody is in a place to receive that. And I had to learn that the hard way. You know, not everybody has pure intentions towards you. Not everybody genuinely wants you, period. They only want what you could do for them or what they could get out of you. That's something I had to learn the hard way as well, right? It took a lot of pain for me to be here. And now that I done been through that pain and I healed from that pain and I am healing from those scars and they starting to heal up and close up, now I can see a little bit clearer. Okay, Chris, you was showing up too much. You was doing too much. You was putting your heart on your sleeve, and so people saw that, and so they was trying to use that as a way to gaslight you, as a way to misuse you, as a way to get over on you, because they thought, oh, she ain't going nowhere. She going, she all I gotta do is apologize. All I gotta do is give her some time. All I gotta do is, back off a little while, and then I come back and she be good. Not this Chris. Not this Chris, right? This a different Chris. This the healed Chris. So that's something else that I wanted to make sure that I mentioned too. And then lastly, before I give it back to Kai, is a fear of dating. Like the dating pool, what I've seen, yes. But also, you just don't know people's intentions. And I'm still trying to work on my discernment. Like, is this person really about that? Like, do they really rock with me like that? Do they really want something with me? I am learning, or have been learning, to listen to me. Like, based on how I feel after a conversation, after an interaction, and I feel off, or those butterfly feelings that we think are good things, they're really not, right? Sometimes that's your body warning you, like, wait a minute, girl, you need to pay attention to this, you need to listen to this, you need to take heed to this. So I'm learning about that as well as I navigate these dating streets. Although I'm inside, I don't be outside in them dating streets. I'm still like, okay, when it is time to go outside, I need to be, you know what I'm saying? I need to be hearing and feeling and actually adhering and listening to what I'm hearing, seeing, feeling, and moving accordingly. Okay.
Yes, ma'am. And then you said something. Hold on, girl, let me get my notes. So it's one, two, I got four things. Okay, so I'm gonna start from the bottom. So the last thing you was talking about was like going out, right? Going out to clubs or just like being out, like out here in these streets or whatever. I be kind of weary, like leery about that because like I don't want to meet no dude in a club because I feel like that's like your scene, and I feel like that's where you gonna want to be. Like I I don't want to do that. Like if it's like a lounge or something, like grown, you know what I'm saying, but not. Or I gotta pop bottles and or I gotta show how much money I got because I gotta buy the section. I gotta get bottle service. That don't impress me. Like I don't care nothing about that. And if that's your scene, then I'm gonna need for you to stay there because you're used to a certain type of female, and that ain't like if I do decide to just like pop out and go out every now and then. Like I don't want you to think that that's my scene, and then I'm not gonna try to change you either. Like I'm not trying to force nobody to change. Like I want you to be you, and I want you to let me be me. So I'm not gonna try to change you, and then I don't want you to try to change me. Now, if we come together and we both know that it's things that we want to work on because we genuinely like each other, it's like, well, damn, I see value in this person. Like I really see this person like as an asset instead of a liability, and I really do want to work on my ways because I can't see myself being without this person, and that's different. But to try to like forcefully change somebody and me call you, oh, cause why are you out in the club? Well, nigga, that's why I met you. So I already know that's your character. That's who you are. I can't I I I can't change that. I don't want to. I don't want to. Like you have to want better for yourself. Um and then like the second thing is like I don't want to be in like a relationship with a person that looks at me like they enemy. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people be in relationships and like they really be in relationships with like they enemy. Like you think that why you think that I'm trying to hurt you or why you trying to hurt me? You trying to hurt me before I could hurt you. And the whole time that ain't even my intentions. I'm not even that kind of person. I would just leave you the fuck alone before I even play catch back or anything. I would just cut you clean the fuck off. And you would never hear from me again. So like why I that's really a question that I have. Like why do people be in relationships with a person that you have to fight with and like you think that they doing something sneaky? That's your enemy. You're laying in a bed with your enemy. You're in a relationship with your enemy. This person don't want what's best for you, or you don't want what's best for that person. Why y'all just can't leave each other alone? It's, I don't want that. I don't want to lay in a bed and have to wonder about what you're doing. Wondering about if you talking to somebody else or if you have my best interest or if you just trying to use me for what I have or what I could do for you. I don't want that. That's not what I want. And if I feel like that's what it is, I'm cutting you off. Cut off game so strong. Son, you would think I dropped off the face of the earth. Like that what Kanye? What guy? What? Yeah. I don't have time. I my partner, my man, my husband is not gonna be my enemy. And I'm not gonna be your enemy. If we can't help each other grow, it's supposed to be me and you against the world, not me and you against each other. Me and you against the problem, not me and you against each other. I don't want that. I don't have time for that. If we can't talk like adults, if we can't sit down and have hard conversations, and I'm not saying I'm perfect, I am far from perfect, but I'm willing to put in the work with that person, and that my person should be willing to do the same with me. Like, get to know each other. Like, look, this is what I need to do. If we ever get into a disagreement, look, give me some time and then let me cool off. Let me come back to it. Like, talk. Use your fucking words. Because you was able to use your words when you was trying to holler at me when you was trying to fuck. But you can't use your words when it's time to be an adult and converse and communicate effectively. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want a nigga. I don't want a grown boy. I want a man. A man. Not a male. A man. Because all males have penises. Like if that you know what I'm saying? Like if that's what you think that makes you a man just because you got a dick. Hey girl, hey. How you doing? But so yeah, like I don't want that. The next thing, girl dating apps. Oh my God. Girl, I didn't try date girl. we we was on black people time today, so we started like 30 minutes late. So we kind of like in between. You caught us in the middle. um but dating apps, girl, listen. One time I had got on Facebook dating, and then I was just like, yeah, let me go ahead and head on out. Girl, okay, listen, I hate them too. So, girl, one time I got on, I was staying in Texas. I was staying in Texas, San Antonio. Girl, and I had, what I got on, was it Hinge? No, what's the orange one?
The orange one.
Is it orange? What is that?
Oh, Tinder?
Yes, that's red. Tinder. With the okay, anywho, girl got on there, made a motherfucking. That was my second time making a Tinder. I made it, I made one, and then like I met somebody, and then like that shit didn't work out. I deleted it, and then when I moved to Texas, I made another one. I don't think I ever got on Bumble before, but Bumble is the orange one, I think.
The one
Child, I don't know, but it was
who
Tinder.
is the one with the beat on there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So girl got on there. I'm like talking to like a couple of dudes or whatever. Nah, here my fucking naive, gullible ass at the time go, I'm thinking, oh my God, I'm gonna find my person, I'm gonna find my soulmate, I'm gonna find the love of my life, all this. girl, I can laugh at it now because the shit is fucking hilarious. But bitch. So I was talking to this dude, and he like wrote a book. So he sent me like a little excerpt from his book or whatever. So I'm like reading. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. It seemed like nice, genuine, whatever, whatever. So like we talking, and then and then like the next day, I just get like a random dick pic, and I was like, why, why you sent that to me? Why did you send that to me? I didn't ask you for that picture. I didn't ask you for that. And then he was like, oh shit. He was like, well, ain't you in a mall? I was like, the mall? Girl, I was so shocked. I was clutching my pearls because I'm like, the mall? But then I had to stop and I'm like, this is how these niggas look at bitches on dating apps. They look at you like you're just like options, like what bitch I want today, what bitch I want tomorrow. And I'm just like, oh my God. They think I'm for sale. Like, so after that, no more date apps. No more date apps for me. I cannot, sir. This ain't what that is. This this ain't what this ain't that. Don't laugh. Don't laugh, Maya. This ain't that. Like I had to learn real fast. And then I don't know, it's just like the guys that's like you meet in person, like they be wanting you to run behind them and stuff like that. And I'm not doing that. Like, if you can't stay consistent, if you just can't, if this ain't what you want, that's fine. But if this ain't what you want, just leave me alone. Like, you don't have to breadcrumb me. You don't have to try to manipulate me. You don't have to try to play all these mind games to try to boost your ego. Because again, my cutoff game is strong. Like, you're gonna be like, girl, what happened to her? Or girl, she done blocked you and deleted you on all apps, changed her phone number and everything. I don't know. And the last thing that I have down, just because we dating, they don't do you right, they never stay consistent because that's really not what they want. They be lying. Like them niggas be lying. And just because we dating, please, because I'm not about to be on your roster. I'm not about to be another notch in your belt. Like, how old are we? Fucking 17? Like, grow the fuck up. Just because we date now mean that we fucking. Just because you take me on a date, that don't mean that we fucking. I can pay for my own food. Like, why is that a thing? Oh, I just took you out on dates, so now you gotta give me some pussy. No, the fuck I don't. Do I look like a hooker to you? Do I look like a prostitute? Do I have prostitute on my head? Bitch, I can pay for my own food. Like, I can do all of this shit by myself. Like, I thought you was taking me out because you wanted to get to know me. I don't mind paying for dates. Like, if you pay this time, I can pay the next time. Like, it's okay. We're getting to know each other. Like, I don't know, girl. Just piss and shit and vomit and fecal matter and just all kind of stuff just all in the pool in the air child. That's why I got out the pool, girl. I got out the pool. I'm just sitting in the jacuzzi by myself. I'm in the jacuzzi with the water warm and some bubbles and some wine and a little reefer Teresa every now and then too. Friend.
I'm on the side on the little chair. Some big.
Look, with your little mimosa.
Okay, with my mimosa, I'm watching everybody else swim in a pool that's full of feces, urine, all of that. Like I'm just watching. That's where I'm at on the side looking. So yeah, I've had my little dealings with the dating apps, and I'm thinking just like you, naive, green. Oh, I'm gonna find my B. You see the little stories on Hinge. People that have met, and it's the app that's meant to be deleted. I'm taking that to heart. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna get Hinge. I'm gonna just see what's out here. This is my way of connecting. I realized, like, when we talk with Mr. Knuckles, he was like, a lot of those apps are trash. It's a lot of men on there that's just trying to either build with someone, which they typically would not be on the app, and then there's the ones that's just trying to get some. They will pretend to create this elaborate, clean cut, gentleman like profile, and then you meet them, you have one date, and then they have an expectations of you giving yourself to them, and then get mad when you don't. And I'm like, oh wow, I didn't know this was the expectation. I didn't know when you get on an app, you're an automatic notch. Like you automatically gonna give me something because you decided to make an app, a profile on the app. And so I think you looking for love when really you looking for lust and to fulfill your physical desires, and you trying to use me and get me for what I can, you know what I'm saying, as a woman, what you could get out of me. And I'm like, oh, I didn't know. Deleted it with a quickness. I tried Bumble, but I really didn't like it because it's the women matching first before you can connect or message the man. I don't know. But I deleted all of that. I'm like, I ain't got time to try to figure out the dating app gymnastics, mental gymnastics, and try. Or I can't message, or I can't like too many pictures, or they're gonna see, they're gonna be notified, and bye. I deleted all of that. Um, so yes, that's been my experiences with dating apps. Like, just, people having expectations that because you're on the app, you already know what it's hitting for, and so you should just do what we think you should be doing, which is giving us some, and then we just separate, and that's not what I'm looking for either. um we talk a lot about potential, what a man could be, what a woman could be if they did XYZ, if they really truly focused on their healing journey, if they really address those things that they've been through. They could really be a good man, a good woman. But I always say, and I have consistently learned, what is that person showing you right now? They could be talking the best game that you've ever heard, but what them actions looking like? What are they showing you? Oh, you love me? Oh my goodness. I used to fall for words all the time, but those actions never lined up. And so I'm always confused. Used to be always confused trying to figure out what did I do to make them treat me the way they were treating me. But they say they love me. They just can't show me right now. They just going through something right now. They just been so hurt in the past that they're trying to heal from that. And so they're trying to, they want to love me. They just don't know how. No, they're fully aware that they have some stuff that they need to deal with. They're fully aware what they need to do to show up for you, to love you, to be with you. But they choose not to, because at the end of the day, it's all about how you love and show up for yourself. If you're not holding yourself accountable in the way that you're loving yourself, then the people that come around you, they gonna see that. They're gonna be like, oh, she don't even love herself. She let me do this. She let me talk to her any kind of way. She let me cheat on her. She let me take from her. I don't ever give her nothing. I don't ever buy her nothing. I don't ever take her out nowhere. So I don't even know why she tripping. Them words, they sound good, but them actions also need to be matching them words. That's something I had to learn. Like, I had to separate the potential, what they could be over time, and look at them for who they are right now. Like, yes, we all have growth potential. Yes, we all could become better if we focused on ABC. Yes, in a few years, a couple of months, whatever, if that's a goal that we have in mind for ourselves, yes, eventually we'll reach that point. But if I show up as me today, is that something you could deal with? You could hold out hope for somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, he on the right path right now, and I know I can see where he going. He putting in the work. He's hitting these goals right now. I know what his trajectory is. I know what his vision is. So you know what I'm saying? I can see that. But if you constantly with somebody that all they do is talk, and don't put no action behind nothing they talking about, and get mad at the world around them, but don't hold themselves accountable for where they are in their life, then you need to look at that. Right? And there's only so much potential that you could base a relationship on. What's the foundation about? Is the foundation strong? If a person coming to you as their full self right now with no growth potential, what do you see in front of you? So sometimes we really set ourselves up. We talk about this a lot. When you're in an unhealed state or you're going through the healing process and you're basing your relationship, a connection, anything off of potential, and the words and the actions don't match, that's only saying there's something within you that you feel like you deserve that. He say he love me, but he cheat on me all the time. He say he love me, but he don't really do nothing. He don't spend time with me. He don't take me out nowhere. We don't do anything. We're in the same position we were in 5 years ago, 4 years ago, 3 years ago. He say he love me, but we've been together 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 20 years, and I still don't have a ring. He love me. He say he love me, but his actions say otherwise. Right? So that's so important when you're healing and you really finally sit back and you see what you allowed, what you've accepted, what you've dealt with, what you've tolerated over time. It's like, can I really love myself if I accept this? If I let him think it's okay to play with me? If I let him think, oh, I could just say this, but I don't really have to do nothing. I don't have to show nothing. I don't have to prove nothing. I don't have to put nothing up. I don't have to continue to date her. I don't have to continue to court her. Then that's an issue. It starts with us. So that's something I've learned too. If I'm talking about I'm ready to date, I have to show up as my full self and I have to see people for who they are right now, not who they could be over time. Especially if they're not putting in the work to show not just me, but themselves. This is something they want for themselves. There's nothing that I could do. I can't force that on somebody. Like how I said, if that's who they are and they showing up like that, you met them in the club. You met them popping bottles. You met them running them streets. Now when he get with you, you think he gonna change? That's who that's who he is. There's ain't that much potential in the world to make you think a person that don't want change, that want to live that life, that want to be out in them streets, they're going to automatically change for you because you are the special woman in his life. You don't think previous women before you tried that? Did he change for them? No, a person has to change for themselves. They have to heal for themselves. And if that's something that you do not want, then don't accept it. Move along. Potential will have us stuck for years. Time that you will not be able to get back. We stress ourselves out trying to change people that have no intentions of changing. If they wanted to do it, they would have been done it way before they met you. Now, sometimes we can serve as, motivation or inspiration for someone, but that's required. That requires them to want to make the change. Like, man, I really need to get myself together. Man, I need to be walking how I'm talking, man. I got to do more. That has to come from that person. The minute you feel like you somebody mama, like you fussing or you wanting it more than somebody wanting for themselves, the minute that you put yourself on the back burner and you stressed out and you getting sick and you worrying about this more than they worrying about it themselves, then that's when you need to fall back and really truly start your healing process. That's what I had. Okay.
Okay, she was preaching, girl. Ew, preach up. But you were saying some real shit though. I think that for me, like we're never going to like fully heal. You know what I'm saying? But just as long as you're actively working on yourself, right? And then like whatever, babe, if you out there and you watching this, you listening in the future, or if you watch this later, like on YouTube or something like that, I'm talking to you. It's okay if you don't have it all together, because I ain't got it all together. But we could figure it out together. Like we like pieces of a puzzle. You know how like you got all of these different puzzles and stuff like that. Like every relationship is their own different type of puzzle with all these different type of pieces and sizes and pictures and all that other shit. But they got their own puzzle, so we got our own puzzle. And like right now we out here putting our puzzle pieces with the wrong pictures, and we got to come together and put our pieces of the puzzle together. So we gonna work on it together. We gotta heal. We gotta work together. But you gotta want it just like I want. Because I'm not gonna run you down. I'm not gonna be chasing you. And you're not gonna have to chase me. Okay? And then like we have to be interdependent, not codependent. I don't want to be independent. Like I am a strong, independent black woman, okay? But I don't want to be. I want to be soft. I want to be like the passenger princess. Okay, like I want to do that. Okay, okay. And then I think a lot of time, like we have to like unlearn stuff from like our childhood, like you were saying about you're talking about like toxic behaviors and stuff like that. Like I think a lot of that stuff is like learned where you some dudes like where you said or if you feel like you becoming like their mama or some men like if you feel like you're your girlfriend's dad. Like you feel like a father more than like a man. Like they comes from like childhood traumas that people have to get over, and I don't think that people realize that. And like that's why we come on here and we talk about stuff like this, because it's about finding the root. Like when you just keep digging, eventually you're going to get to the root of the issue. Like I had to realize the reason why I used to allow certain things in the past, like when I was in my 20s, the reason why I would let like niggas get away with certain shit was because the things that they was doing to me, my mama did that shit to me. You know what I'm saying? Like my parent was a very conditional type of parent. Is, oh well, I only tell you that I love you when you do stuff for me. I only tell you that I love you when you clean up. I only tell you I love you when you buy stuff for me. I only tell you I love you when you do my hair. Or that's the only time I show any type of affection towards you. So for me, that's why, you know, I kind of put up with stuff, and it was normal to me, but come to find out, it's really not normal. So, like I said, like if you have to look at this shit like deep from like your childhood and be like, oh well, damn, that's why I stood by and took shit that I shouldn't have taken, because that's the same kind of treatment that my parent gave me. That was the only type of love that I knew. And to come to find out, it really wasn't love. Like you just tolerated me. And then it kind of turned into like the Stockholm syndrome. Like if y'all know what Stockholm syndrome is, it's like when you were so attached to the person that hurt you, to your abuser. Like, and I was definitely in a abusive, mentally abusive relationship, emotionally abusive relationship, and then when I was younger, physically abusive relationship with my parent. Like that's how she treated me. So how do we start to change those behaviors? Honestly, I can honestly tell you when I started to realize that, um, it's just kind of like hit me like all of a sudden. Like I just was like sitting by myself. Like I love to like just be in my own energy. Like that's why I do like the most healing, right? The most reflecting. And like one time, it was like a few years ago, I was just sitting, I was like, damn, well, what am I doing wrong in relationships? Like why do they not last? Like what is going on? So then I started to think like, okay, well this my parent. This is the foundation. Your parent or parents are the first people that show you love or how you're supposed to be loved. And like I said, it was just normal. Like all I know is what I did. I just took accountability. You just have to recognize it first, because you can't change something that you don't know. So when you start putting together the similarities and you see like, okay, well, this is how my parent treated me, and then this is how I allow these men to treat me, or these niggas to treat, because they ain't men. This is how I allow these niggas to treat me. And then like you just like, I look at the similarities and I'm like, well, damn, it's literally the same shit. It was the same thing, and I was just it is just so crazy, because that is literally the foundation for everything, your childhood. That is the foundation. That is the beginning. That teaches you everything. It teaches you how you should behave, what you should accept. Like if you were a child that was very outspoken, and your parent always told you to shut up, you don't have no opinion, just be grateful, and you supposed to be seen and not heard. Then you grow up as an adult, and then you become a pushover, you become a people pleaser, because you're so used to just being seen and not heard. You're just so used to pleasing everybody else around you and not having a voice for yourself, and not having your own opinion, and letting everybody else make the decision for you, because you're supposed to be seen and not heard, and you shut up and you do as I say, not as I do. So for me, I had to, I reflected, and I had to, because all of that shit was stuff that I've heard. Everything that I just said was shit that I've heard growing up. And then I became that person when it came to relationships. And then I was just so afraid, like Dr. Chris said in the beginning, I was just so afraid to like lose a person. Like, oh my God, like, oh my God, I don't wanna lose. But guess what? Child, I didn't cut my family off. I cut my parent off. I ain't talked to her, and I can't tell you how long. So guess what? If I cut her off, baby, I cut anybody off. At the age of 17, I got pregnant, and I held my fucking dead daughter in my hands. Okay, at 17, and I had to get through that shit by my motherfucking self. If I can get through that, if I get through those two things, the most the hardest things in my life that I had to deal with, and if I can survive and heal and grow through that pain, you think I'm worried about a nigga at this point? I'm not. I would love to be in a relationship. I would love to have a partner. I would love to have my man. But I ain't chasing behind nobody. I ain't desperate for nobody. And child, they can say what they want on all these podcasts about women that's in their 30s that's single with no kids, that something must be wrong. But then you want to turn around and talk about the bitch that got 5 kids and 5 baby daddies. Like, you gotta, something wrong with everybody. You gonna find something wrong with all of us. So, I don't know. I just got run off on a little rant. But, yeah. Chris, what you got?
Yeah, friend, like, that part where how do you change the behaviors that you learn from childhood? It's hard because a lot of times when I realize, I think I talked about this in previous episodes where you know, I use school to escape. Like, just focus on school. That'll be my ticket out. Just get out, get out, get out. And so I finally did that. But I realized in that when I created that goal, like, oh, I'm gonna use my education to get out of this position that I'm in as a kid, I realized after that, like once I've accomplished it, I don't know what to do next. Right. All of those goals that I set, I was in a traumatic environment. I was always on fight or flight. Like, I never had the opportunity to just be a kid, right? I became an adult mentally a lot quicker than I was supposed to. And so when I realized that, I'm like, okay, well, the people pleasing that came in, my fear of abandonment. My mom always used to say, your daddy don't want you. Where you gonna go? So I always had that in my mind, like, okay, I don't have nowhere else to go. So in order to avoid, you know, chaos, in order to not make anybody upset with me or threaten to leave me, I will be by myself. I'ma just deal with it. I'ma just learn to be quiet. I'ma just do my part to keep the peace. And all that time, I realized that was neglecting myself. I wasn't okay. So once I realized that, and I started, like I said, putting the pieces together and figuring out, okay, this feels familiar. Why does this feel familiar to me? Why am I getting flashbacks? Why I used to see myself as a little girl in situations that were triggering, like, when I feel like I had to stifle my voice. When was the last time I felt that way? And I think of a situation when I was a little girl, and I'm like, dang. And so when I was in those situationships from the past, they would have the same behaviors that my mom used to do. I'm like, okay, so he just like my mama. So I'm like, okay, I gotta cut this. I gotta cut this. Anytime that I feel like the little inner child within me is suffering and she's screaming and she's yelling for me to stand up for myself. Like, why are you taking this? You always say thank you. You always say, oh, I can't wait to get one up. I can't wait to be grown. I can't wait to get out this house. I can't wait till I'm older. But you're older and you still, like you still not standing up for you. So once I realized that, I was like, okay, let me dig deep. Let me first of all cut the people that make me feel like I felt when I was a little girl. Who does that to me? Who, if someone says they love me and yet they don't value me, you have to do both. Like, you don't value somebody and say you value somebody, but you treat them like you hate them. I realized I was feeling that a lot. Who is making me feel this way? I cut them off and I deal with that. Like, I sat, like I said, sat with myself. I cried through some things. I wrote things down, like those emotions, those feelings, those thoughts. I prayed. I just put myself around people that I knew I did not have to question, people that I knew truly valued and loved me. And they helped me work through those things, those emotions, those situations that I had buried so deep within myself. I didn't even know they were still there. So those tears, I was just purging so much. I could not stop crying. And I'm like, okay, after a certain while, after a certain time, I started getting back to myself. I started getting me together. I started going out, not clubbing and all of that, but just like going, enjoying nature, going outside, feeling the fresh air, feeling the sun on my face, and just being. And after a certain time, I started to make it a routine. It was a part of my day. Like, I have to get some sun. I have to drink water. I have to, I just started prioritizing things that I truly forgotten that I enjoy doing. And slowly but surely, I started getting back to me. I stopped worrying about what people would say, worrying about what people would think, worrying about how people would respond to me, prioritizing me for a change rather than worrying about them and what they got going on. So it's a journey. It's different for everybody, but we definitely always tell you, like, it's going to require you to get real with self and really tap into what it is that you've been through in your life and dealing with it. Sometimes we just don't want to deal with it. We don't want to look at it. But those things that we know we need to heal from and change and release, it's necessary for us to reach the spot or the place of peace. And like I said earlier, the peace that I have now, it took me so long to build, and I'm not willing to give it up. I done been through too much. I've overcome too much. I've released too much. I've endured too much. I've prayed too much. I've cried too much. I've disconnected from people. People I never thought I would disconnect from. But my peace is my priority. My healing, I'm serious about. And if all I see when we connected, or when we connect, or when I speak with you, if all I see is my trauma from my past, and I'm constantly triggered and, reminded of the pain that I've already overcome and healed from, I don't want to be connected. And it's nothing against you. Hey, thank you for the connection and the things that we've learned together in that part of my life. But now that I'm here, and you're still back there, unfortunately, we can't remain connected. That takes strength by itself, you know? So, yeah, it takes time. I'm not going to tell you you're going to be good by tomorrow. You're not. Like, it takes time and true intention and attention about your healing. That's all I could tell you. So we coming up on time. that was so good. Like I didn't expect it to go how it went. But we are so thankful to have you guys watch, listen to us, every third Saturday of the month now. This topic was definitely focused on dating and, recognizing what that looks like. But of course, we had to incorporate the healing part. You can't talk about that, without talking about what it takes to get to that place to be able to be with somebody. We all have a traumatic background, we all been through some things, but it's about your focus and your intention about healing from it before you bring yourself into somebody else's life and talking about building and having children and all of that. Like, another thing too, what you've been through as a kid and you decide not to heal from that and you grow up into an adult, a man, a woman, and you call yourself procreating, the things that you avoided as an adult will show up in your child. Are you ready for that? Like, do you want to have your children have to heal from you? Don't you want to be the best version of yourself before you bring a child into this world so that they don't have to experience what you went through? So they don't have to heal from the things that you had to heal from? So they don't have to worry about, not knowing how to love themselves, not knowing how to show up for themselves, not knowing how to discern when people are truly genuine towards them. If you're genuinely showing up for them and loving them and instilling those principles and values into them because you're healed or are healing, then the world gonna teach them, the world gonna get them. And we know not everybody in this world, you know, truly cares, right? They're seeking out their own desires, what they can get. So if you know that you are ready for different and you truly want to change, like there's nothing that you will not dig deeper into to dig up so that you could be a better person for yourself, so that when you do connect with somebody and y'all do have kids and y'all do build a life and y'all do get married and get a house and all of this, then it's going to be good, it's going to be on solid foundation. And that's what we are seeking. We're not seeking, what I'm saying, we're not going out here and looking for it, but we are expecting that because we ourselves are doing the work. And whoever we connect with, hey babe, whoever you are, when you do come my way, just know I'm gonna be ready for you. I'm healing right now while I wait for you. So I hope y'all enjoyed this live. We went on a tangent, but that's how we do sometimes. Kai, let's wrap up.
My girl said, let's wrap it up. So, I guess I'm gonna go ahead and do our affirmation. The affirmation today, they kind of ghetto, but I don't care. So the first one is Future Rihanna. I need love and affection. Love, ooh, ooh, ooh.
Wait, girl, quick aside. So why I had this as my signature when I was whenever that song came out and you had the signature for your text message, I spelled out L.O.V.E. Girl, that's my signature. And my friends, they did not care about me because why would you let me put a signature like that? Like, why would you let that go down?
Oh, child, look, we was all a mess back in them days, okay? My second ghetto affirmation is I can't think of their name. Is it KP and Envy? Shorty swing my way. Sure look good to me. Now would you please swing my way? I'm not rushing and not desperate though. But be whenever you're ready, just come on and swing my way. Okay? We gonna grow, we can heal together, but you gotta be on your own journey. You have to know who you are as a person, as a man. Just like I'm learning who I am as a person and as a woman. You have to know what you like, what you don't like. Just like I'm learning what I like and what I don't like. And then we just gonna grow and we gonna heal together. So that's what I'm affirming, that husband, wherever you at, wherever you are, whenever you stumble across this video, okay? Babe, I love you and you my everything. Okay? Um, we're gonna try to have the episode, what's today? Today's Saturday. No later than Wednesday. By Wednesday. Wednesday or sooner. It's gonna be on YouTube. But when we do post it on YouTube, I'm definitely going to we're gonna upload it with the official highlight, and then gonna let y'all know when it's on YouTube. So yeah, be on the lookout for that. Did you have any words, affirmations? I mean, words of encouragement?
Yeah. So, like I've been saying throughout the episode, like you ready to build with somebody, to be with somebody, and you're actively on your healing journey, just know that you can continue to heal while you wait. That time gonna fly. They say it happens when you least expect it. And I've seen and I've had people, even some family members, my best friends, and people that have their person, they say they came out of nowhere, but they were dealing and healing from their past pains. So that gives me comfort, right? Knowing that I'm on my journey, I'm healing, I'm looking at myself and what I need to deal with within me right now. So I know my person is coming. So similarly to you, if you are currently single and you are still healing some things, dealing with some things, recovering, patching yourself up, and really truly are trying to figure you out and get back to you, your person is coming as well. So you want to be good for them, right? Because, these people that are coming your way that the divine have in store for you, like they didn't do anything to you. They didn't hurt you. They didn't disrespect you. They didn't misuse you. So you wouldn't want to ruin that, right? You want to be good so that when they do come your way, you'll know how to receive them. You'll know how to respect them. You'll know how to love them. You'll know how to let them love you the way that you've always wanted to be loved, the way that people in your past told you you didn't deserve to be loved in that way, had you feeling like you were less than, like you were undeserving of that. And so, when you're on the journey, it does not feel good, but when you come out on the other side, I'm telling you, you will be in a much better position, and that will only attract your person, the person for you. Like, oh, she glowing. He looked good. Like, I remember when you was going through ABC 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and you'll never see that looking at him today, looking at her today. So don't let what you went through in your past be a reflection of who you are right now. And if it is like that for you, you need to heal from it. You need to heal from it, especially if you have the desires of your heart will be made your reality. But you got to get through some things first. You got to clear some space and be ready and accepting for the person that's coming your way. Yes, or that you're currently going through. You're trying to recover from it. You're trying to make sense of it. You're trying to understand. That's a lot of the experience, right? That's how that healing journey is initiated. It don't feel good when you're going through it, but baby, once you go through it and you're released and you purge it and you good, you've recovered, and you start to see pieces of your light come back, and you start to realize, I like that. Let me start doing more of that. Let me start tapping into that. It makes you feel good. So you want to be who you truly are, your true self, so that your person can find you, so that they will be attracted to you. They could see you, your spirit, your soul. But they can't see you if it's hidden by all that pain. If you still carrying that emotional baggage from other people, from other relationships, things that other people done did to you, your person don't deserve that. So keep going on that journey, you know, keep striving. If you need to take a break, take a breather. I had to take a lot of those on mine. I'm still taking breathers on mine. So It's a journey, not a race. Or I need to heal by this time. That's not what it's about. So yeah, I hope this was a good live for y'all. We truly enjoy coming on talking about our stuff. Things that we've learned, things that we've been through, showing that layer of vulnerability and transparency, because a lot of us are going through those things by ourselves, or we are the first or the only or many of one of few in our family, in our circles that are truly doing the work. And we like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't know where this is going to lead me. I don't know what the next chapter will be. Like, we wanted to serve as that guide, kind of, or that voice of reason to let you know you're not going crazy. You're not by yourself. You're not the first person to encounter what you could currently be going through. So yeah, thank you for joining us. Our next live, let's see. I know it's the third Saturday, so the next live will be on February 15th. Episode 31. We're not quite sure what we will talk about just yet, but we talk outside of this. I always say that. So me and Kai are gonna concoct something, have a discussion. I will create my document. And then we'll of course announce that a couple of weeks or a week prior to our live next time. Kai, you got anything else to add before we close?
Yeah. I just want to say, quintessential, a girl. When I come back home to visit, we definitely gotta link up. We definitely gotta meet in person. I definitely need to try some of that water because it looks good. Okay, it looks like it tastes good. The reviews look yummy, and I want to do a review, and I want to meet you. So that's all I wanted to say. I don't know when I'm coming back home though. No, I don't know. But if you open to it, I would definitely shoot you a message, my girl, and let you know, hey, look, I'm coming home. Let's link up. Got to. Okay, I definitely gotta support you. You support us literally 1 hour day ones. So the love is real, and we gotta reciprocate that. Do you ship water? Like, do you ship your fruit infused waters? Because if you do, I can place an order right now. Okay, let me get my hands on that right now. So if you do, send me. Do I need to go to your page? You got a link up to purchase, or do I need to DM you? Let me know what flavors you have. Let me know the price with the shipping and all the good things, so I can make my purchase and we can just ship it. Because I definitely want to support. I love supporting my people. Anybody that I know that's doing anything, I support them. Okay, that's cool. That's cool. I get why. So yeah, you can ship without the fruit. That's cool. Let's do it. I wanna support you and I wanna try it. Okay, I'm a DM you as soon as we end this live. So with that being said, we will see y'all on February 15th with another authentic live and coming from yours truly. It's Dr. Kristen Kai, the Hood Therapist. We love y'all and we gonna see y'all later. Bye.